This is the Jetting Up Podcast with B-Reich and Bryan Foti. A pleasant good afternoon to you. Another edition here from the Jetting Up Studios. I'm Bryan Foti, alongside with my co-host Brian Reichert. And the first round of the NFL Draft is in the books. And Brian, my man, what is up? We've got a new offensive tackle.
Yeah, Joe Douglas did the right thing. He takes the tackle at 11. Definitely a great start to round one. And, looking forward to today, Brian. Here we go.
Yeah, man, it should be exciting. I'm really looking forward to tonight. This is going to be the round where I think we get a couple of receivers, at least in my projections. I had two of them taken. I don't know if Joe Douglas is going to see eye to eye with me, but I would think in round two, receiver is going to be the pick. There's a couple of good guys on the board, and let's just get right into the recap of the first round last night. What was your thoughts on Mekhi Becton? That kind of unfolded a little bit unexpectedly with the Jets ultimately being able to choose between him and Tristan Wirfs, and they take Becton. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I was pretty, going into the show, I kind of predicted, 50% we were going to take Wills, 25% we're going to get Becton, 25% we'd probably trade back if you remember. So, Becton was definitely on the radar. I just thought the draft unfolded perfectly for us. I kind of was worried, especially early on with the Giants, not going defense and taking a tackle. Also, was kind of shocked that they took Thomas, who I kind of had as my fourth tackle. So that was kind of good news for the Jets. And, like JD said, such a sigh of relief when Arizona decided to not take a tackle and went defense. That's how you knew the Jets were going to get one of their guys. And, a little bit of chaos, especially with Wirfs sliding down. I kind of thought he would go early on. And then, kind of a fake report out there that Wirfs was taken by Cleveland. And all of a sudden, Goodell, reads Jedrick Wills' name. And it kind of threw me off a little bit before the pick, right?
Yeah, it was definitely, I wasn't really on the Twitter. I didn't want to get any surprises last night. I like to watch the picks unfold, so I didn't really see that. But, Mekhi Becton there, Cleveland, we had a feeling was going to take the tackle before. I think Douglas at that point, you think he was trying to trade back a little bit because he took a lot of time to make the pick?
Yeah, I think he really was looking to possibly trade back, especially with, some guys that he really liked. There was Becton there. Wirfs was unexpectedly there. All three receivers were there. So, you saw a team like Tampa, move up one spot. So I wonder if they reached out to the Jets at all. I think JD was definitely looking to possibly move down, shop the pick a little bit. And, I know some fans were yelling for Wirfs, but, Wirfs is a right tackle and Becton's a left tackle. So, you kind of get your left tackle. You can move Fant over to right tackle. And, the run game got a lot better. The more you think about it, it's a solid pick. And, that's why I said on Twitter I would give it a B+, but I thought it was solid. Good pick for the Jets at 11.
All right, so tell the Jet fans, what are they getting with Mekhi Becton? Because Louisville is in the ACC, but they're not one of their top-tier programs like a Clemson, like a Florida State, one of those big-time Miamis, big-time program names. Louisville has had Lamar Jackson and stuff, but not a lot of people watch them. So what can you tell the fans that what this kid does well and what his weaknesses are?
Well, they're going to get, a massive human being. He's, 6'7", 360, ran an unbelievable time at the Combine, which really, jumped him up a lot and really got him up there with the big boys. A guy who loves to, pancake guys, throw defenders out of the way, move the line of scrimmage. He's excellent in the run game. The only thing is he needs to work on his technique, and he has to be a better pass blocker. And the ACC is littered with the top rushers, but he did struggle at times. So that's the one thing that we got to make sure that he gets better at his pass blocking. But the run game 100% got better. Le'Veon Bell should be smiling ear to ear.
All right, well, that's definitely something to watch for. As you know, they got him to protect Sam Darnold's blind side. So pass blocking definitely is going to be something they have to coach this kid up on. But overall, I love the pick as well. I'm with you. I think it's a solid B+. I wouldn't give it an A. But very good pick. You address the offensive line. You have a left tackle now for 10 years, hopefully, that could block and protect Sam. And, I really liked it because he's got a mean streak. I heard him talk last night saying he likes to pancake and finish all his blocks. And,
He's one of the most aggressive, run blocking guys that you see that, you'll see at the college level, and hopefully that translates to the pros. And I mean, he's an unbelievable athlete, former, could really move, play some basketball, in high school. He's a great athlete. So I think that, he could work out for the Jets as long as we just develop him the right way.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that Joe Douglas likes. That's one of the things he talked about when he signed Fant, his athleticism. This guy's another athletic tackle. He was quick to mention how light on his feet he was for such a human with a massive size. So weight issues could be a problem, but I don't really see it. I just think he's that big, and down in the beginning of his career, I don't think you're going to really need to worry too much about it. But I really like this pick for the Jets, and this finishes the offensive line, I think. There are some reports that the Jets may go O-line in the middle rounds here again, but right now
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because, I wanted to kind of discuss with you before we talk more about some things that I've heard. We've signed, 4 interior offensive linemen this offseason, correct? And, 3 of them are quality, and the 4th guy is, another guy you could potentially fill and play some, get some time. Why do they feel the need to move McGovern out of his position that he graded, the best in? I'm kind of confused by the move.
Well, they haven't necessarily picked anybody yet, so we have to see what transpires tonight. But what do you think?
I've just been hearing a lot of the connection with Hennessy from Temple, the center, and I really could see them potentially, taking a guy in the, a center or an interior lineman like Hennessy on day 2. I just feel like there's so much more bigger needs, and I feel like we invested, a good amount of money and capital into the interior line, and I think McGovern's just, a good center rather than have a rookie center,
I'm with you 100%. I think that's definitely a smoke
screen. Plus, you got to get a receiver.
Yeah, of course, dude. I think that's a smoke screen. We heard corner the other day. Now maybe we're hearing online. I think the Jets are keeping everything close to the vest. They're not really going to let these beat reporters know what they're thinking. Douglas is an offensive line guy, and he likes to pick it. But, you sign Fant. You bring back Alex Lewis, like you said. Van Roden. Like you said, Connor McGovern. Brian Winters is still under contract. You draft Mekhi Becton last night. There's a lot of...
You got Josh Andrews.
Josh Andrews. Chuma Adoga's still there.
Harrison's still under contract.
And Chuma from last year. So I think the line's set, man. I don't think they go. It wouldn't be a shocker because then you're cutting somebody.
I would just kind of more focus it on day 3.
Yeah.
Two developmental guys on day 3 to throw in.
Yeah, because...
I just don't see a premier pick going to that spot right now.
Yeah, and I really think that we need a playmaker on the outside here at wide receiver. And that gets me to the next point. Michael Pittman's still on the board. Denzel Mims from Baylor. Right now, I really see, from a couple of mocks I've read, and we were talking about it this morning, the Colts look like a team that is destined to pick a wide receiver. So the Jets probably after that, I'm not sure. I've heard, I saw Daniel Jeremiah tweet that there could be a run of wide receivers and running backs in round 2. I don't necessarily know where that starts, whether that's after the Jets pick at 48, because in between a lot of the Colts and Jets, there weren't too many teams picking wide receivers. But, there's 4 good ones still left of the premier guys of that premier group with the Colorado kid. You've got Mims, like I mentioned, T. Higgins from Clemson, and then our guy, Michael Pittman, who we're really hoping that gets there at 48. But I'm not 100% sure he'll be there. But I think Joe Douglas is going to stay pat. And this is a deep group, and I think he's going to pick the best available wide receiver tonight. What are your thoughts on that?
I kind of feel, at least what I would feel more comfortable with is I would kind of have my big board as, at 48, I try and get Pittman, Mims, and T. Higgins, one of those 3. Hopefully one of those guys is available at 48. If not, I kind of tend to lean toward best available player of need, whether it's, a corner, a potential safety like we talked about, or even an edge rusher at that spot, depending on what's there. If the kid like Wisconsin is just sitting there and all 3 wide receivers are gone, maybe they make a move like that. But I really wouldn't take a wide receiver at 48 besides those kind of main three guys, bro. Those are three guys I trust. Those are three guys I think could be number one, and really, make the offense a lot better. That's that value.
Do you trust this kid from Colorado?
I wouldn't take him at 48.
All right, there you go. So you're leaning on those three guys at 48. We haven't talked about Mims. We did a little bit, but I watched some tape on him. I wasn't as high as him as you were, but then watching him some more film, I did see him go over the middle more. Tell us about Denzel Mims a little bit.
Yeah, I was shocked to see him make it out of the first round. I kind of saw him going in that IU spot, but they decided to go that route. Mims is a guy terrific on the sideline. Really used his feet well. Wins battles on the outside. Had a great number at the combine at 4.38. And they talk about how Jalen Reagor really suffered from quarterback play. I really didn't think the kid at Baylor was too good, and I think Mims made him look really good in a lot of scenarios, especially with a team that's a run-first team. But I think Mims is special, and I have him as my wide receiver 5. So, if he's available at 48, he'd be a great value pick for the Jets.
All right. Another round. Round 3 is tonight. The Jets have 2 picks in that round. If they go receiver at 48 and they get one of those 3 guys that we were talking about, where do you think they look to go in round 3? Do you think they double up on wide receiver, or do you think they go with edge and corner? What are your thoughts?
Well, what I would kind of lean toward is I would lean toward going, corner and then edge, and really kind of add 4 starters to your team that could, play right away, contribute right away, and be effective. But, this is another thing where maybe I see him grabbing, an offensive lineman in the 3rd round. Like we said, he's a big old line guy. Maybe he goes a little outside the box in the 3rd round. But I think there's so much talent in the 3rd round that, Joe Douglas could really, add 2 quality guys at 68 and 79. But I don't know if I see a double down on wide receiver, Brad. Maybe Van Jefferson, but I'm not sure.
All right, we'll see what happens. I like this receiver class a lot. I would take the 2 receivers.
I love it.
So I would double down and maybe get a guy like a Van Jefferson or a Chase Claypool, depending on.
I wouldn't be shocked if they go that route.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. But like you said, the idea of actually adding 4 impact starters in different positions of need, that definitely would help the Jets build.
And almost kind of completing your defense in a way with taking those 2 guys with a corner and an edge. You basically stabilize and finish your defensive starters. And you could basically focus the rest of the draft on offense. On
Does Darnold have enough weapons, though, if you just give him either one of those 3 receivers with Perriman, with Crowder, and with the 2 tight ends, Herndon and Griffin, and Bell in the backfield? Is that enough, you think, for him with this ramped-up offensive line?
The offensive line is going to be solid. It's going to really depend how they gel, but they're going to be a solid group, I think. And then, you got 2 solid tight ends. You're going to have Perriman, who really flashed at the end of the year. Got to stay healthy. You hopefully get a guy at 48, and then you got Crowder in the slot. That's pretty much probably going to be your projected starting lineup. He's going to use 2 tight ends a lot. He's going to use Crowder a lot in the slot. And you got Perriman. You want to take a guy at 48. Do you necessarily need another wide receiver early on? Maybe you get a guy at 120 who kind of hangs around and could be a steal, and really fill the needs at 68 and 79 on the defensive side.
Yeah, it's definitely something to watch for, so it will be exciting. But let's just go over best case and worst case scenarios for tonight. So let's be positive first before we wrap things up. Give me your best case scenario for tonight. How do you want it to unfold for the Jets?
I think if everything went exactly how I wanted, I would probably go Pittman at 48. The cornerback from Mississippi State at 68, who I think could start right away.
Dantzler, okay.
Corner. Cam Dantzler, pretty tough kid, has been in contact with the Jets. and then finish the defense off with, Bradley and A from Utah, who I think is going to be a steal wherever he goes at edge. So you get, your second edge rusher, you get your second corner to pair with Jenkins and Bashir. You lock up the defense, and you get Sam, his old wide receiver from USC.
All right, and
How about you? What do you got?
Best case, I'm with you, Pittman at 48. For me, I would take, like you said, a cornerback or an edge rusher at 68. And then I'm doubling down. I like Van Jefferson a lot. I think, an extra wide receiver. I know maybe not right away. He may come in to start. But, Perriman's not here for long term. I get two young guys that Darnold can develop with and have chemistry with. And especially another rookie if a new one's not ready to go. And I think I give this kid all the weapons to succeed in year 3. And he has an arsenal at his disposal.
Yeah, if you're higher, if you think Van Jefferson, is going to have, a way bigger impact than guys in the 4th and 5th round, then, maybe they do, hop up and take a kid that they're connected to. So, don't be shocked that Van Jefferson gets called tonight for the Jets.
Yeah, so I think that the connection, he played great in the Senior Bowl. He's in the SEC. You've watched him. You're a Florida fan. You would tell us all about him.
Would you feel comfortable if the wide receiver run started really early on in the 2nd round and we took Van Jefferson at 48?
Would I feel comfortable with that? And that was the guy?
Would you rather have him or the Colorado kid?
I probably, that's a tough, I don't really trust the Colorado kid, Chanel. I'm not really a huge fan. I know he's got a lot of talent, but I probably want Van, to be honest with you. I'd rather wait to the 3rd round, or like if they're all gone, I think he's a better player. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about him. That's just my gut.
Okay.
I don't know.
I respect it.
Yeah, I just don't have a good feeling.
So finish the 3rd round.
So that would be my thing. So Van in the 3rd. Best case would be Van in the 3rd and a edge or corner, whoever it is. Maybe the guy from Utah or Camlin Dantzler or Bryce Hall from Virginia, someone along that. And then we, in day 3, will reassess and figure out where we go. But worst case for me, no receivers are there, and Josh Jones is still available at 48.
Oh, man. Would you take Josh Jones at 48?
No.
Man, that would be a tough scenario, especially because, Josh Jones at 48, if you took the top playmaker, would definitely be an interesting draft, But Josh Jones is falling for a reason. My worst case scenario is probably that they panic and kind of just take an O-lineman and really don't fill a need and kind of just go after the best player available and probably go O-line and then a safety. Those 2 picks are probably areas I don't want on day 2.
All right, well, there you have it. We will have coverage of the recap of the 2nd round and 3rd round picks tomorrow when we come back on.
I got one more question.
All right, go ahead.
Do you think that JD pulls off any trades tonight?
Do I think he pulls off any trades? I'm not sure. I think
Give me a percentage. Can you give me a percentage? Maybe you think he pulls off a deal tonight?
15.
Whether it's back or up?
15% at both. I think he's standing pat tonight. I think he really values these picks. He likes picks. He's got 3 of them. I think he's going to use all 3. All right, there you have it.
What if we trade 48 for Ngakoue? Would you lose your mind?
For Yannick? Well, that would be different, man. Yeah, of course. That would be exciting. That would be exciting.
That would be definitely interesting. Going to be a lot of movement tonight. I think a lot more action tonight in the trades than in round 1.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Amount in round 1.
Yep, but again, the NFL draft, we'll be watching it on ESPN and ABC at 7 o'clock. Remember, 7 o'clock, folks. You can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a subscription. Like us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Instagram. And we will talk to you tomorrow to recap day number 2 and then get you ready for the final day, day 3. So we'll be up early tomorrow to recap this round because day 3 starts at noon. So until then, we will talk to you soon. I'm Bryan Foti from my co-host B-Reich. We'll see you soon. And always, Jeff fans, remember to jet up.